lot of money on jewelry, you know, before I got hurt. And I loved the big chunky Western jewelry, and you know, it was no big deal to me to go drop, you know, 70, 80, 90 bucks on a chunky necklace, you know. And when I got hurt, when you're self-employed, if you don't work, you don't make money. And laying there in bed, there's only so much TV you can watch. There's only so many books you can read. And so I kind of was bored and fed up with laying there, and I taught myself to make jewelry. And so it started out just making pieces for myself, and then it turned into, I had a friend of mine say, hey, I'm gonna have a booth at this event, why don't you make some necklaces and bring them and try and sell them? And so I did, and I had a blast doing it. And so that turned into me making a booth and taking it to different events and car shows and markets and starting to sell jewelry. And then I made some hats, and then I made some leather dog collars, and just kind of turned into making things, but always kind of keeping a Western horsey theme with it, because that's who I am. And so kind of tying it back into that as well. Really, it was awkward for me when I first started wearing the things I would make, and people would say, hey, I like that, where'd you get it? And I would just kind of, I made it, but be embarrassed to say it, because it's, you know, I mean, here I was this, you know, horse girl, country girl, you know, and I'm making jewelry, like it just didn't fit with who I was. And, you know, then people, oh, I like that, you want to make me one? And I would just laugh it off, not believe it, you know. And so when my friend asked me to have a booth, at first I didn't take her seriously. And then she wouldn't let up, and so okay, fine, I'll bring some pieces and sell them. And I didn't think they'd sell. I was so skeptical. I didn't believe that it would take off or anything like that. And when we got there and I did sell the pieces, it was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can do this and still play with the horses, but maybe I can make some money and start making a living doing, you know, making stuff, or making jewelry, making, you know, stuff like that, creating things. And so I just started toying with it and selling more and more, and I couldn't have done it with it, you know, if she hadn't pushed me to do that first show, I never would have, I mean, I never say never, but I don't see that I ever would have, you know, gone on and done it.